In this initial layout, it felt like you dropped 3 elements and you're like, I don't know what else to do. So one trick that I'll do, and you've seen me do this before, is to draw a block over things. I just want to simplify the layout, because if you look at the words or the paragraphs, they can get more complicated. And then you look at the words and it's even more complicated. And then you look at the letters, you could start to lose a sense of what the layout is doing. So by merely drawing a block over the elements that Tony has laid out for us, we can kind of see now the essence of this layout. And if you really think about it, this is just really one group here. It just happens to be broken into 3 parts, right? But it's a very centered layout. And it is, to me, a little bit on the static side. Usually centered layouts are reserved for things that are very classical in their feeling, very traditional. But this layout is neither classical nor traditional. It's a magazine about pioneers in design. So we want to honor the content. We want to treat it appropriately. So this is where I'm having some issues with this layout. And the other thing that I get the feeling that Tony's done here is that he's taken the type and he's pushed it up into the corner here, and he's pushed it down into the corner here, and it's not doing anything for me. Here's what I'm going to advise everybody to do. You're staring at your layout. You're like, God, why isn't it singing? It's not flowing. What is up? So we can try to do a few things. We can say, all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hide stuff. Okay, watch what happens. I'm going to take this. I'm going to hide it. Does it make the layout better? Is it still broken? I'm like, it's still not great because the center column text here is not really doing anything with this. They're kind of not relating to one another. They're not speaking the same language. So if I start to, let me remove this. Okay. Now you look at that and you're like, is that interesting? Ooh. Handsome? Yeah, it is. Right? So now we think this element is good. Maybe in its previous iteration, when you're hiding too much of it, wasn't. So you need to see a little bit more of the tops of the E and a couple of the other letters, because see this letter here, the G? You can't tell that's a G just yet. It could be a lowercase a weird A or something. We just don't know. So by pushing it into the frame, we can get a better sense of what it is. Now, if you pull it too far out, it may or may not lose that tension that's being created on the left edge there. So just be mindful of that. Now let's bring everything back, okay? So now what we do is we're gonna do the opposite here. I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna hide each one of these in order here. Let me hide this, hide this. Okay, now that I bring this back, is this okay? Now, this in itself is not bad. And this isn't bad, but the two together isn't really doing anything. This is where you may want to pay more attention to alignment, gridding, and spacing. So when we talk about this, the order, like we have the focal point, but how are these things related? Like once I read resonate, what am I supposed to do here? This is where we need to start the design, right? This works true in Photoshop as it does in Illustrator. Turn off your layers. Turn them back on one at a time. And when something doesn't feel right, you've identified a problem. So perhaps this thing that you're doing here, which is kind of reminiscent of how credits are displayed at the end of a film, where they split the alignment, they align flush right and then flush left, and then they align things in that way. That's kind of what you've created here. So it feels to me like, Tony, what we want to do is make sure we understand how to manipulate and position type for impact, for clarity, and for relationship, and for balance and harmony. And in this initial layout, it felt like you dropped 3 elements and you're like, I don't know what else to do. That's it. Okay? So some things for you to think about. I think the first thing I would do just immediately is take all the stuff and align it left. Okay, and ask yourself, is this layout better now?
There you go. I can breathe now.
Do not hold your breath when designing, everybody. You'll turn blue in the face and it's not good. So the other thing that we need to pay attention to is I'm going to draw another box here. I'm going to grab this one. Okay. And I'm going to draw a box and kind of get a sense of proportion here. So if I take this and then drop this down here. Okay, so this is about double. So you can see like we're creating weird spacing in between all these things. All I want to do is pay attention to the space in between these boxes, like the white space here and the white space here. So I'm going to delete these now. Okay, sometimes that helps. So we just want to try something. We want to take this and we want to say, what if we brought this closer to this? Does it make this space more interesting or dynamic? Does reducing the number of elements from 4 groupings, 1, 2, 3, 4, into 3 make it a little easier?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Chris, if I may add to what you're saying, is that before we have these boxes or islands that they're floating around. And by you bringing the middle paragraph to the bottom paragraph, you're creating proximity. And proximity is a good thing to create focal point versus the eye jumping around, boom, boom, boom. Because it's overwhelming for the eye to know where to go when there's these elements floating around.
Okay. So that's the other thing you can do is if things feel complicated, make them simpler by grouping.
Yes.
So position or distance implies relationship.
Nice.
So if I put these 2 close together, then we look at this as their family, they belong together, and we should see them as one unit, even though they're made of many components, okay? And we can keep working on this. So you can also say like, okay, what else can we do over here? I'm gonna try something, okay? All I'm gonna do is put a little bit more space between resonate and this and see like, okay, how does that change things? Like, does this make this more interesting? So we're starting to get 3 groups back, really small one, a little dot on the page, a box and another box, okay? I forgot to mention something. I want you guys to look at this. Let me hide this for a second. If you were to look at this as a layout, just like you're doing abstract painting, postmodern kind of just boxes on a page, do those boxes look interesting to you? And if it doesn't look good like this, it's probably a good indicator we need to work on the composition a little bit more. If you're enjoying these critiques inspired by the work you see and want to get better at layout and design for print, web, film, or television, we have a course available on our site that is designed just for you. It will help you to learn the rules of typography, how to create contrast, control focal points, achieve asymmetrically beautiful layouts, how to critique your own work, keyboard shortcuts, and include my personal tips on how to build an asset library so you can design at the speed of thought. As an added bonus, students who are enrolled in the course can participate in future critiques, get updates as we release them, and a time-lapse video of me working on layouts, not available anywhere else. You can jump in anytime, work at your own pace, and take your typography skills to the next level. That's it for me. I hope to see you in the future.